Who?
Aubamawho?
Obama, nothing.
Don't know who you're talking about.
Let's get into it. Yes, people, we're back. It's the reaction. It's the famous 3+1. We've got the back four. Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. Aubamawho, Obama did nothing.
Nothing.
Now, I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to go there first. Now, me trying to see the good in everything. Obama's an Arsenal fan. He loves the club. Do you think he done that video to try and make sure Arsenal were up for the game? To make sure we beat Chelsea, because that's the only thing I could think of. Agent Aubameyang, maybe. We got Good Evening doing one over on Man United at the moment.
Hey,
we got
that's
Aubameyang.
now, isn't it? Wow.
Aubameyang may Chelsea play with 10 men. Like, it's
literally.
We'll come back to help us.
Touch stats.
Yeah.
Seriously, wow.
Ah, dear. It's a great day. I've got a great cast with me today. We've got Brenny in the building. Daymos and Canners, how you all keeping, boys? You all right?
All good.
This is me right now, boy.
You're doing your impression of Saliba, I see.
You know, Sundays can't get any better right now. We could just kick back, relax, watch all the other teams with a cuppa on a Sunday afternoon. That's how Sunday should be.
I'm telling you.
Sipping on a cup of rosy in your favourite mug and just kicking back. So, I'm going to go first question. Have you ever seen an Arsenal-Chelsea game so easy? It was cruise control. I answered my son at about the 90th minute, and then I thought, if I spoke too soon. I said, has Ramsdale even made a save? I don't actually recall him making a save. No. But equally, I will say, we didn't open them up. I think there was a couple, obviously, what Jesus kind of had and probably should have had on target. I think territorially, and we controlled the game. We managed the game, and I agree with that in terms of we absolutely.
You're creeping.
That's how laid back Arsenal were today, boy. You know what I mean? No, but we controlled that. We controlled it, and I've never seen that before, because it was just like, I don't know if you got, I'm just sorry, I know I'm probably going off piece a little bit, right? But not even, right, the famous Invincible team, right? I'm not comparing them, okay? However, all I'm going to ask you, right, is to go back and watch, Jesus' header, what he missed, what he should have scored when he's watched the play.
Watch what?
The football because they had the ball, didn't they? We won the ball. It was just one touch.
Bam, bam, boom, out, cross in. If that would have been goal this season, hands down.
Yeah.
Close it.
That was nice.
The football on that, I've not seen. When I saw that, I was just like, I looked at my sons and we all looked at each other like this.
Yeah.
Because it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I beg you, when you see MOTD, watch that passage. It was just like, when a team is properly knows each other like the back of your hand. That was, mate, that. All it needed was to finish, and that would have been goal this season. Hands down for close it. There's no for the competition. Close it.
Yeah, man. It speaks to the confidence that they're playing with. Again, like you said, they know they know where the player is going to be before even having to look. And again, trust, isn't it? A lot of it's trust. If I give you that ball, I'm trusting you're going to look after it and not lose it. And now I've got to defend, because that's what it comes down to. If I don't trust you, I'm kicking that 40 yards up the pitch and we keep our shape. But the belief at the moment between them, And I think that trio of Saliba, Gabriel, and Partey again, unbelievable today.
Ben White ran Saliba close as well for man of the match.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. I think there's a few of a shout, but that three, it builds off that three, doesn't it? It is masterful. And
it's naughty.
Saliba, where do you think he could rank as Arsenal centre backs of all time? Let's talk about kind of Tony Adams to now. I know a few of you are a bit older than some of us. So yeah, I can't probably go back as far as you guys.
You can't ask that question.
Let's go Tony Adams. Like, obviously, you lot would have seen Tony Adams when he first broke into the team.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I know he's a bit younger than Saliba is now, but have you seen anyone? Like, where would you compare these two and how they're stamping their authority on?
Different types of players, aren't they? Because Adams is old school, isn't it?
No nonsense.
Yeah. Have you seen anyone have this kind of impact on the back four since even when Adams came? Obviously, he came as a young boy and was just a monster.
It was ridiculous. When look, you can't. In my opinion, Daymos is right. Is that you can't compare them simply because they're two different types of players. One was your what's his name? Who's the guy at United? Vidic.
Yeah.
And one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's that type of Adam. That you would compare Adams and Vidic.
Yeah.
You would probably compare Saliba and Ferdinand, and it would be a good conversation or a good comparison to compare those two players at that age where they are in their development. That for me, that's the two type of defenders you would, kind of do the comparison. Listen, man, I'm never gonna say anything bad about Adams, man, because he's an absolute legend through and through. But I'll listen. Saliba's at the start of his career, man. He hasn't done nothing yet. He ain't won nothing yet. All right, fair enough. He's won league and young player of the year. He's got to do it all now, and he's up against a lot of good young players. If he does again, young player of the year come March, listen, it's big, man. Listen, everyone he come up against today, he was just like, "Come on, man, is this all you got?"
Yeah, they put pace against him. It was not a problem. They put height against him. It's not a problem. Trickery against him. It's not a problem. One-on-one defending. I'll stand with you and I'll make you make the mistake and I'll just take the ball and play. Ball's over my head, man behind me. It's all right. I just drop a shoulder and turn out the other way.
Drop a shoulder.
Playing football.
Right wing, run down the right wing. I'll do it. What more do you want me to do?
Yeah. He's gonna do it. Daymos, have you where would you rank him? I know Candace didn't want to answer.
I can't answer.
What do you think? what do you think Saliba can turn into? Do you feel he can be? I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I'm one that doesn't get ahead of myself. But I'm running out of words for this guy. Like, he just never seems phased. What's your thoughts on him?
So you don't get ahead of yourself, but you're asking these kind of questions. But
I'm asking you lot the question. Yeah, that's right.
now on the real, the way he's started for the last 2 years and the way he's progressed, he's going in the right direction. And the level he's at now, all right, he's not the level he's at now. The form that he's shown in the last 10 games or so for Arsenal,
consistent.
That's amazing. And if he continues, then he will be one of the top ballers. You know what I mean? And the legends. So I have no problems with the way he's growing and progressing. That's it. That's all I can ask for. I can't predict who and how he's going to rank. I just know that I'm happy with this player we've got right here and the way he's playing every week in, week out. He's just on another level, man. So,
definitely.
But quick one. Actually, I was just looking at the stats. It says Arsenal took 14 shots, Chelsea took 5. Arsenal had 2 on target, Chelsea had 1. So that's really poor. And then Arsenal had 57% possession, Chelsea 43. So, and we had a whole lot of passes. Yeah, at home, and we had the whole heap of passes. We killed them in every stat, to be honest. They had 20 fouls, we had 13, and then so we killed them in all the stats. But they had 350 passes, we had 450 passes. Wow. So we controlled it, but there was that 1 or 2 times where Sterling had the ball, and I was like, ooh. But then even he was scared. He tried to square it to someone. So we know their potential threat, but I just really like the way we controlled the game, man.
There's one stage in that second half where they couldn't get out. It was
my gosh.
You could see they looked all over the place and
at home,
it bodes well. And again, I've been asking the question on a lot of streams. You lot would have heard it many a time. A team's that bad or just playing bad against Arsenal or Arsenal that good. And I've now got to go on record and say I think it's just Arsenal are that good. Yes, we're going to have moments in games where we're struggling. We look at Leeds, we look at Southampton. But in general, what we've seen since pre-season is Arsenal are dominating. They're on the front foot, more majority possession, probably more passes, creating more chances. And it's week in, week out now. I would only say, and the PSV game, I would say they got the better of us. But again, that was rotated. This starting 11, I would say, actually, we're making teams that bad now, really and honestly. Like, there's no... We was waiting. I don't know if Canada's been on screen. For the first few weeks, it was like, is it just Arsenal or these
I
teams
know,
just
we
playing
were just
really
like,
badly?
okay,
But
they're doing all right. They're doing all right. They're doing the right things, but the team's that bad. And truth to be told, we hadn't really played anyone yet. But you know what? I guess sometimes the stars are aligned for you, isn't it? And it's like, okay, fair enough. There was a few games up to the point we hadn't really played anyone of note on paper. But what that enabled us to do was to hone our skills, patterns of play. So when we do start coming up against the better teams and we start doing the things and everybody knows exactly what to do, when you come up against those big teams, we're just doing the same things. And it's like, damn. So when we come up, well, you can call like a all right team Tottenham. When we did that and we kind of like did everything that we've been doing before and it was working, the players just like, it just clicked. Play Liverpool, bam, click. It's going again. And you know the greatest thing about this, right, is that, do you remember the couple of years gone by where we would start doing well, Arteta will make a switch, whatever, and he'll like put Aubamawho out onto the left or whatever, and for a few games it was wicked and it was coming off. But then teams cotton onto that and said, you know what, double up on him, shut that down, and then we went back into ourselves again. But now the pundits or whatever doing all this analysis on what we're doing, but the managers for oppositions are kind of saying, how the fuck do we stop them?
Yeah, the in-game management
is ridiculous.
Yeah, we really saw it today. And the in-game management and the way they adapt is, I think, was probably most impressive. Because like you're saying, Canners, when you're winning, teams will be looking, and how do you stop them? Leeds got the better of us. And then Southampton obviously grabbed the draw. So that should really give teams the formula. But it's like all of a sudden we just go again and we find another way. And it's, the in-game management, the way to adapt. Again, it's things like this, the Zinchenko role where, okay, he's going to play inside for 10, 15 minutes. You might then adapt to think, right, we know how to deal with it. And then also he goes on the outside. And there was a few times where the long diagonal went over the top. And I'm thinking it's Martinelli or Xhaka on the end of it. And it's Zinchenko. And I'm thinking, hold on, he was just playing next to Partey 2 minutes ago. And now he's completely flipped it again. And it's these things here where it's keeping teams guessing. It's like you can't pin it down because it just changes within the game. It all of a sudden, depending which way Ramsdale kicks the ball, he kicks it to Gabriel first compared to kicking to Saliba. There's a different way of playing, if that makes sense. So,
did you know who the sorry to because I'm buzzing from this performance, right? Because there's so many things I saw. And Gumsa, man, you've got to bring back your tactics.
Do you know, I've been thinking about it. There's times against me, but we will do it in like a mid-season wrap up.
Oh my god, do you know? And Xhaka takes the piss. And I'll tell you why, right? Is that the positions and he's such a clever player. I would never have said this 18 months ago or even 6 months ago. But you watch him now and the positions he takes up, nobody knows how to handle him.
No, that's right. 100%.
He pulls players out of positions like it's so. I was just watching it. I was just like, he opens up the field for Partey to receive the ball, and then bam, we're on the front foot. Because Partey, do you know what I mean? He I'll shut up, man.
Yeah, it's just masterclasses. Brenny, you've been very quiet there. Let's talk about Partey, because Raviol Burton saying, bro, if it's not Partey, it's no one, bro. And then he's saying Partey is a serious player. Just before we go any further, big up NS Sports TV.
Big up
for tuning in.
Yes.
I think, you know what, that big up means, all right, we was done.
Yeah. You lot are the real deal. That's what that is.
If that was 4s or 5s or 3s or 4s, there would be no complaint.
100%. Let's talk about the partnerships, Brenny. I'm going to come to you because we're seeing partnerships all over the park at the moment. Again, you got the 2 centre backs, you got the 2 centre midfielders, you got, I would say, the front 4, the wing backs. It's just whoever comes in and goes out, it just seems seamless. And where do you think? Is there any? Yeah, what do you do with this? Like, to take this further for you, what would you be looking for? Like,
for me, it's. I mean, you know, you can take it further, and this side can only get better. But you know what it is? For me, it's with these partnerships. It's like I said. It's like I've said time and time again. It's all about It was all about pre-season. Put the players in during the pre-season, and that's what you need. It's like in the past, we've always been in a situation where we've had a pre-season and then we've not had great starts. I'm talking about in the later years of Arsene Wenger, not had great starts to the season, and then deadline day comes up, we get 2 or 3 players in, and then they have to gel. Some can just come into the side and hit the ground running. But for me, what was key was that we did our business early, and what we saw in pre-seasons. I mean, do you remember I said that I thought that we'd win at least the first 4-5 league games, and we did that. And you are seeing what we're seeing from the summer. You're seeing it now. Everybody knows each other's games. There's that togetherness, the cohesions there. Everything is there right now.
You gotta love that, isn't it? The togetherness.
You know what I mean?
When someone scores or at the start of the game, the end of the game.
Yeah,
Man.
Yeah, the end of the game seems. I think even for the players, this one probably gives them maybe more belief than some of the other victories. You saw at the end how much that meant to them. I think the way they controlled the game as well, because you can win a game and be scruffy or ugly, or again, we look at the Leeds game, we won it 1-0, same scoreline, but it was a complete different win. Do you know what I mean? But to come against Chelsea, and let's be honest, it's still, yes, they had a lot of injuries. There's still Champions League winners in there. There's Premier League winners in there. There's guys who have won the Euros in that team. There's still a strong team. Mendy, how much does this goalkeeper cost? Do you know what I mean? There's some big players, Sterling, Aubameyang, people like that. There's big players in there.
Mason Mount.
Yeah, and the way we
come on.
Yeah, the way we dominate the game, the ball, the composure, it's exciting, and it's really exciting. And again, I think this signifies something as well of what Aubameyang said previously in the video where he was filmed about big characters. Again, the release of the advert. Do you think this is really the guys really showed up for Arteta today to say we believe in our manager, and actually
that's such a big
Obama's
one comes out. I love that one. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Daymos go because he's sitting there nice and patiently, and then kind of
I just think Aubameyang went to Barca. We know what happened, and then he went to Chelsea. Do your thing. You did well for us. I give you props for that. Do your thing. But when he come opening his gums with his video, I just lost respect. I'm like, why do that? Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just glad we shut them up. I mean, I don't know. The players, it looks like they turn up for Arteta every week. They're trying their best anyway. So regardless of what Aubergine man said, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just happy with the result, man. But if you want to answer that in more depth, if you feel there's a connection.
Yeah, Canners, you can go. Do you feel, again, and like Daymos is saying, the players have turned up week in, week out. But it's a symbolism, isn't it? That was the old regime. Like, looking back at it now, you know what Arteta's game was. He wanted to get rid of a lot of those players who he didn't think fitted the system. Whether it was, I want to keep the youngsters, or I want to keep the guys who believe in what I'm doing. I think it's more that because Xhaka and Partey are of a good age. So I think it's more about the mentality of the player, not the age of the player.
I get that. And I think, do you know what? With what Aubameyang said in that YouTube clip about, the players, are yes men, and, you can't. Do you know what? That wasn't even a dig at Arteta. Do you know who that was a dig at? Those players in the squad. If you're in that squad and someone says, oh, he only wants young kids that can say yes to him. That's like, are you, what? You're saying, I'm a yes man. I'm like, I just do what.
Calling me a sheep.
Nah.
Yeah. Like I don't know nothing about football or.
You know what I mean? Nah. So that was a dig at the players, in my opinion. It wasn't at the manager. It was just like, fair enough. He's saying that he can't handle big characters. Yeah, okay, that's a dig at Arteta. But then saying that he only wants players that say yes to him and do what do what he wants. That's a dig at the squad. And if that was me, that's a total disrespect. So listen, I think that was the players who were riled up to say, you know what? Come on.
Yeah, 100%. And Brenny, again, talking about the mentality of the squad and the discipline and everything else, it's a London derby, so it's going to get a bit spicy. I think Newcastle has scored. Is it Armoury on again?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, they're on fire at the moment.
Yeah, that's gonna be a heck of a game, boy.
I'm scared of that one. I'll be honest. I'm scared of that one.
Mm.
But yeah, well, I've got to say, but yeah, like so, the mentality of the squad, the fight, the desire. It's a London derby. It's going to get spicy at one stage, and it did towards the end. Xhaka, to me, done the right thing. Slowed down the goal kick, done it in a way where he's not going to get booked. And to be fair to both players, him and Chalobah, they little bit of shirts, little bit of pushes, but none of them went over the top. So the referee is right not to give any yellow cards. But the mentality of the rest of the team, I think it was Jesus at one stage, it all kicked off. You could see him symboling Gabriel, White, get back, get your position from now, heads on again. And again, it's just these characters, all of them. It's normally it's Xhaka who's quite controlling of the player. Sometimes we've seen it a few times where he's telling them heads on. He's got into something, but you can see the rest of them say, all right, it's our time now to look after you a bit and keep the focus. And yeah, I'm seeing a big difference in these boys, man. Like they are becoming men, aren't they? And they're looking out for each other, and the discipline, the mindset, they're going to war every game. And yeah, it's beautiful to see, man. It's just beautiful. But yeah, Brenny, do you feel the mentality has shifted since before?
Oh yeah, and even from last, we're talking April, May, and then you got the summer. It's in the space of a few months where the mentality shifted. You know what I mean? It's just beautiful to see. And then whenever there's a situation like today where you get into a little ruckus, you know what I mean, on a pitch, and a few years ago, if someone was involved in a situation, you wouldn't really get players to be like, oh, I ain't going anywhere near that. You know what I mean? I'm just, what if Zach can hang for himself? You know what I mean? And I ain't gonna back him. But now everyone's together. Everyone's saying, pulling each other away, thinking, look, as if to say, yeah, come on, man, we got this, man. Let's stay focused. You know what I mean? And there is that now. So they're all sticking up for each other. They're all, they're just basically.
It's a squad that's together.
Absolutely. They're together. That's exactly.
Absolutely. Simple. Simple. A fractured squad won't come in together like that. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean? A fractured squad will not. If one man goes in or there's an altercation, you might get one or two go over. But no, the whole team is going over to say, nah, what are you doing? What are you on? And that used to wind me up. That used to be winding up. You know what I mean?
I remember the Guendouzi times. Look when Leno caught? Is it Brighton? When Leno got the injury from Morpay, and only Guendouzi is the only one who tried to stand up for his teammate. Like, but he's the one that got the bad treatment afterwards, because then he got the fine, got kicked out of the team, and then we haven't seen him again. And I can't imagine that happening now with these boys. I believe each one of them will step forward and look after their players.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a quick question, guys. How do you add to this? I.e., when you bring in players, how do you find a player that can actually, not just their talent, but can add to the cohesion and the unity? How do you do that? Show me.
Cannon, you go first and I'll go after. Go for it.
All right. He didn't have a bad game, but he didn't have a great... I would say, when you're scoring or whatever, I would say he probably had about a 6.8 out of 10. That was for me, Odegaard. That's where I think, in my opinion, we can improve on in that position. I feel right now everyone's playing at a top level, at a very consistent level. He was better in the second half. However, in the first half, he was almost anonymous. And I was just thinking to myself, he needs to get on the ball. He needs to start creating stuff. And that's the only thing with him, is that sometimes, he does go in and out. And I'm not even going to say improve on Jesus. Jesus just needs to get into training, get his confidence back, and start finishing his dinner.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I think the final piece is that's all it. We're not killing teams enough. Like years gone by, that's 2 threes. Do you know what I mean? We got into some good positions. I remember the one Odegaard got put in by Jesus after some great work by Jesus, and he just didn't believe to go on his right. He came back on his left. And then there was the Jesus one where he got him. I think Saka laid him in, and again he's searching for the goal, so he shot. But again, that could be a square pass. And it's a tap in. And I think that's the only thing I think we could do better on, is scoring a few more goals. And I think that is the bench more than I think. I'm happy with what we've got in that front three, but it's the bench, it's that rotation. It's sorry about that. It's Jesus, it's if we take off Jesus, we don't want to drop the standard down. And I think that's what you feel when Nketiah will come on. You lose a little bit. So it's almost you need someone who's gonna be similar par with Jesus. And again, I think that's with Odegaard as well. I keep talking about someone like James Maddison. I think if you take off Odegaard, you bring on Maddison, no one says anything. If game like that, you take off Odegaard and Vieira comes on, I'm a bit like, do you know what I mean? So
could Tielemans do that?
Changes. No, I don't think what I want in that position personally. I think Odegaard's really good at the passing side, but so I want someone who's going to grab it by the scruff. And okay, I might have to beat two players and get the shot off, and I think that's what Maddison gives you. But again, we haven't had Smith Rowe yet this season, so he might be the one that steps into that role.
True, forgot about him.
Yeah, that's what no one's talking. Yeah, and you think what he added? You think of what goals he added last season?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Goals,
so
big goals.
Yeah,
When's he
so
back?
him coming off the bench.
New year.
Yeah. So him coming off the bench, I think that could be a big plus for us in the attacking element. But apart from that, like, yes, there'll be players, but I think more than anything, it's getting the right mold of player. Me and my son were talking earlier about signing big players isn't always the answer. Sometimes it's someone who fits the system, someone who's gonna do the dirty. Do you know what I mean? He's just gonna come in and blend in with what we're doing at the moment.
Was Mane a big player before he went to Liverpool?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Nah, but he was a baller for Southampton. He was getting goals.
He was a baller, but it was like it wasn't like
there was bigger names out there than Mane, weren't there?
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
But he fitted into how Klopp's system, though, didn't he?
And that's what we need. That's what we need. Because like I say, Pepe's not a bad player, but he just doesn't fit the system. But again, I think now Pepe playing in this system, because did you see? We're going to talk about Saka because the tweet went out before the game started. And it was saying Saka went into the tunnel during the warm-up, was down there for ages, came out with a fitness coach and blah, blah. So it looked like he might have been struggling. I didn't see a struggling Saka today. He had Cucurella not knowing what to do. Yeah. I don't know how Cucurella didn't get booking.
I'm telling you.
I'll tell you how. That ref is an absolute joke.
Yeah. But this is where I think Pepe would have loved this Arsenal, because the amount of time Saka was getting the ball with 5 yards of space to then go at Cucurella, that's what we never used to have. Wingbacks used to just get touch tight to Pepe and he couldn't turn. Whereas I watched today and I thought Pepe would have had Cucurella absolutely on the ropes. But Saka does the other side where he earns the respect, where Cucurella says, actually, I've got to back off you because if I get too tight and he spins me, it's a problem. So you have to earn the respect and the right to play like that. But yeah, Bukayo Saka today, unbelievable again.
He's gone up levels again. From last year, I said to myself, he's gone up levels watching him.
Yeah.
He's gone up levels again. Him and Martinelli are so important to what we do. It's unreal.
And I think the other talking point would have been Zinchenko and Tierney. Again, it's Tierney. Every week this is the only talking point. He can't buy a start in the Premier League at the moment. It's definitely to do with the inverted style. He's obviously not as strong coming into the centre of the pitch as Zinchenko. What do you think happens with Tierney long term? Do you feel he will get frustrated at the lack of action? And there will be suitors for Tierney. There's no doubt about it. Teams will be in his ear. Do you think? What's your thoughts on Tierney? How do you think he must be feeling at the moment? Zinchenko hasn't played in about a month, maybe 2 months, and comes straight back in. And justifiably, he played very well today. If you're Tierney, is it a case of I've just got to improve how to play in that middle area, or do you feel he's kind of going to be a forgotten about man as such, or just be a Rob Holding role he's got at the moment, isn't he? Where he comes on just to shore it up. Deimos, I'll come to you with that one.
Zinchenko he played well overall, but he had a couple of rocky moments, and that foul throw. I thought we're watching kids here, but it happens. But to be honest, Tierney for the last couple of games, I think he's come back quite strong. If Tierney started, I wouldn't have a problem. But they're both quality players. So and also when Tomiyasu was around, even though he was amazing for Liverpool and for the few games after, it wasn't the same impact. He's still quality. So we've got 3 quality players that we're talking about. And to be honest, it's not. I always go back to this guy. It's not like who's I forgot his name now. Who's the defender that we always have when we use them as reference for like having a calamity defense?
Oh, Mustafi.
Yeah, the Mustafi days and all them kind of players. It's not like that. So whichever the manager chooses, I'm okay with it, to be honest. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Man, those days were hard. I'm just thinking of that, man.
Man,
But again, the beauty of it is, I think Champions League football helps. I think when we get top 4 and we go Champions League, then the rotation, you see what City do, where they rotate. And I think Tierney maybe just has to be patient, almost like a new signing, because of the way we're playing, the style we're playing with that new inverted role. It might just be like, you need to get used to it. When a new player joins a team, he has to sit on the bench for a while to get used to the system. So it could just be a case of that. But how long until KT gets frustrated, do you think? Because to see Tomiyasu start ahead of him, the first game against Liverpool, fair enough. But after that, it was, how would that make you feel? If you're playing, that's your position, you see a man play out of position in your place, that means now you're third choice left back. Like, how did it make him feel? Brenny, go on.
You know what? If that was the case, if it's a case of, say, Tomiyasu was come back and Tomiyasu came in at left back, then I'd be vexed, because I would be vexed. But how I'm looking at it now, yeah, Kieran Tierney is obviously the number 2 left back right now. But you know what? I'm like Dames. I'm happy either way, wherever the boss chooses. If it's KT or Zinchenko, I'm happy with that left hand side. I think Tierney will probably look at it and think, well, you know what? We're top of the league. I will get game time at some point throughout the course of the season. I will get game time, and I know I will. And I think Arteta values both his left backs. I think he'll get game time. You know, at the end of the day, that's all a point of having a squad. But I don't think there'll be anything wrong throughout the course of the season. I think Tierney will be all right, and I think he will feature this season. He will start more. He'll start games. Zinchenko will start games.
It also depends what Arteta says to him. He might say to him, "Look, we're playing this team with fast wing backs, so we're going to play with that player because it fits the system that we're going to use to counter it. So we're like, we're going to play you for these other games." So it depends how the manager communicates the reasons why he's not playing. And if you buy into that, then it's okay. But if it's a case of he's got an ego and he's like, "Nah, I'm good enough to play in all the games," then we will have a problem. So
and just to summarize, it could be a case that maybe Arteta's also worried about how injury prone he is, and probably just wants to protect him. That bit, don't want to keep playing him week in, week out.
Yeah, very true. Now, who would have ever thought we'd be having this conversation about Tierney? Tierney was the man who we're rushing back from injury.
Yeah,
season's over if Tierney gets injured, and now we're talking about Tierney can't get a kick. Like it just shows the improvements of the squad and how well these players are playing, who are starting. So, but let's move on to some player ratings. It should be some high ones apart from one player. Aaron Ramsdale. What are you giving him? I'll start it then. Aaron Ramsdale, I'll give a 7. Kicking was good. Didn't have anything to do really, but what he did do, he done well. Claimed a couple of crosses along the floor, so I'll give him a 7 because I think it's harsh to score him down because Aubameyang didn't do nothing. So Daymos, we move to you. Ben White.
He did what he had to do. To be honest, I have to praise all the defense. I'm gonna give him an 8. To be honest.
I'm with you.
And cleaned up.
Sorry.
Cleaned up. So that's it.
No, definitely. Definitely. Canners, then you get Saliba.
9 straight.
Man of the match.
Straight. No, I'd say 9.5. Can we give half points?
Yeah, why not for Saliba? I think he had a big part to play in the goal. He didn't touch the ball, but his run across just unsettled whoever was at the front post.
Exactly, yeah.
If he doesn't make that run,
that was almost like a dummy, wasn't it? Really, the 0.5 I'm taking away from him was his little in the second half, his air clearance. That's the only mistake he made. Other than that, imperious. It's the Rolls Royce, man, of defending. You know what I mean? It was like I actually thought when Broja come up against him, I thought, Broja's got a bit of pace here. It's like, okay. But still, nothing.
I saw a message in the group chat. Someone says, "Does Saliba even sprint?" And I said, "I don't think he does." Literally,
do you know what?
Sprint.
That's the thing. I've seen him sprint a couple of times in the Liverpool game, and I didn't realise how quick he is. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Even I think that there was an offside decision as well. I think he played Brozier offside. He was ahead of Brozier. Still got back.
And then played out.
If that happens, as an attacker, you say, well, fuck this, man. What's the point? What's the point?
Yeah. I'm going to go and play on the other side.
Wherever he is, I'm not.
Yeah. So we go 9.5 for Saliba. Brenny, you get his partner Gabriel.
He gets an 8 today. And I'm not even talking about the goal. I mean, he was just immense today. I didn't see him put a foot wrong today. He was brilliant today. You know what I mean? You know, and that is a fantastic partnership right now.
Yeah.
It really is. I can't fault their back line today. Clean sheet.
Exactly. Yeah. Away from home at Stamford Bridge, very good clean sheet. I get Zinchenko then. I don't want to score him lower than 8, but I think I'll go 7.5. But yeah, can't really split too much. I think he was good. I think defensively the others are a bit stronger, but again, his role's probably a bit more about actually the playing of the football, isn't it, rather than sometimes the defensive structure. So yeah, but again, part of a clean sheet back 4. I'm just being harsh, really.
Can't argue, man. Clean sheet away from home against, defender attackers like Mason Mount. You got Havertz, Aubameyang, Sterling. Yeah, we'll keep shutting them out.
Definitely.
Sterling was he on the pitch?
Yeah.
The only thing I must admit he did a couple of good through balls which were quite dangerous, but snuffed out.
Yeah, it's light work. All right, we're moving to the midfield. Mr. Daymos, you get Thomas Partey.
I like the way he played today. I want to give him an 8.5. Yeah, maybe a 9, but I'll say 8.5 because he was amazing. He was always there. Even I like when there's players around him and he gets the ball and you're thinking, he's going to get clattered or whatever, and he just wiggles his way into safety and just does what he has to do. And his distribution, he's such an amazing player. But one thing I like quickly, what he did and what the midfield did, we always made Chelsea go backwards. That wasn't by luck. Our players were pressing them in such a way and covering all their options. They kept going back to the goalie. They're very negative. But yeah, I'm just happy with
and I think sorry, just to go off what you're saying, and I think that's where the trust comes in and the belief, and this is the difference I think Partey makes to Arsenal. And I bang on about him every week because I don't think he gets the plaudits he deserves. The reason when teams press us and we still feel comfortable to play out from the back is because he says, give it to me every time. I'm always the option, whereas Chelsea didn't have that today, so it then goes back and then it goes long, or it's riskier. And I think that's the big difference. If you watch football, watch what Partey does. Again, he makes teams not want to press him, because if you do press me and I get out from there, now you've got a problem with overloading you. We're gone. So
Ramsdale gave him the ball in the second half with 2 players on him.
Yeah. He just popped off to the other centre back. Elton bang went off again, and that's the difference. And
I was like, all right.
That gave me a heart attack.
Yeah,
but it was like, nah, man, this team's so drilled, it's unreal.
Yeah, for real. Just quickly, Silver Fox is saying, guys, there's 50 viewers. Please smash the like button. Please like and subscribe, people. We really appreciate everyone's support. Also, give us your man of the matches in the bottom as well. 1-0 to the Arsenal. Big up G Talks, new signing, January transfer window. Big signing for the Armoury. Yeah, love to have you on board, bruv.
Undisclosed fee, boy. Them ones that the bank back right now.
Right, let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing through. So where did we get to? We got to Partey. Who had Partey just now? Was it you, Brenny?
Nah, it's Daymos.
Daymos. So Candace, you then got Granit Xhaka.
I loved him today, man. He did everything that he was supposed to do today. His positioning. I tell you, that's the kind of performance. If you just watch his movement that you show to little kids about, watch his movement, watch what he does here, watch how he plays. Bam, bam. He just kept everything ticking over, and his runs and everything was just like, Who's brilliant today? I'm going to give him a. I want to give him a 9. You know,
Can't be with a party though. It can't be done.
I know.
It can't be done.
He's gonna have to go 8.5. He's gonna have to go 8.5 because both of those two midfield were absolutely superb. Absolutely superb.
They complement each other really well. Don't
absolutely. We got Party. Can you 45 mil? That's disgraceful that Atletico put a minimum fee of 45 mil on his head. Too right. You know what I mean? We slapped that down. Now we're seeing the player.
Yeah.
Sometimes you know sometimes where it just aligns.
He's worth double that.
Yeah.
More than double that.
We got one person to thank for that, and that's Hassam Aouar's brother. Because if he wasn't driving them high fees, we would have gone for Aouar, not Partey, and that might have been a mistake because it would have been Xhaka trying to play the deep role. It worked out actually. Partey needs to do that role. So big up Aouar's brother. We owe you one.
Big up. Bless up, I should say.
Brenny, we're gonna move to you. So you get Odegaard.
Odegaard, I'll tell you, man. If he had a second half like he had the first, I would have given him a 6. But I'm gonna give him a 7. First half, we didn't see him. Second half, he wanted more. He wanted the ball. He had more of the ball. I felt, and I tell you what, I thought he would have killed off the game really with that effort that he had. But yeah, he does flit in and out of games. But I'll give him a 7 because I thought he was better in the second half than he was in the first.
Definitely. That means I'm going Saka. I don't care. I'm running the show. I'm taking Saka. Just in case any of you lot mess this up, I'm going 9 for my boy Bukayo. When everyone was onto him at the start of the season,
better than Partey and Xhaka.
Yeah.
You lot scored them down. So what can I do? Nah, he was a constant threat. I feel for him. I know there's been a lot of talk, and Arteta's come out about referees protecting him. It wasn't dirty fouls on him from Cucurella, but the one where he didn't even give a free kick, and then Saka went and then tried to win the ball back and got a yellow for. And that's the frustration because Thiago Silva done the same tackle on one of our players before through the back. We got a foul, but he didn't get a yellow. So how Saka got a yellow for the same foul, I don't know. But yeah, referees do have to protect him a little bit more because it is getting silly now. The amount of people that are leaving little bits on him, body checking him. Like, he had no reason to go down there. So how you can say it was a dive doesn't make no sense. He had the man beat all ends up. So, yeah, Saka at the moment, and this was what I was seeing from him at the start of the season as well. He might not be getting goals and assists, but his overall play at the moment is different level, and he opens up so much space for everyone else. And yeah, this boy is unbelievable, man. So yeah, 9 from me. Daymos, you get Martinelli.
I would like to give him an 8.5 or 9, but he's the same. He's so consistent. He's just you always want him there, man. Do you know what I mean? He's one of them players. What he's doing is just I have no problem with. Like, some people might think, he has to score in order for you to rate a player, but no, his input, his work rate, the way he's finding. Like the way I'm just watching it now, actually, the highlights where he just crossed it and Jesus just missed the header. Like his vision. So yeah, I want to give him a 9 because I just like the way he's playing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm with you. Cannons, that gives you Jesus.
I thought he had a brilliant game as well. Again, he just did everything right but scored. That's the only thing missing from his game. His hold-up play and what he does and how he brings other people into play. With Odegaard's chance where he should have gone in his right peg, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was just typified him. I want to give him if he had scored, he would have got a 9. I'm going to give him an 8.5. That's the only thing that, you know what I mean, that lack of clinical kind of, edge.
At the moment, it's not costing us, but there might be a game where that does cost us. So, yeah, I can't call it. He does
very early, even when he was scoring. I said to myself, if he can be more clinical, he's going to get a bag of goals. And that's the only thing I thought to myself. Even when he was scoring, he was missing a lot of chances as well. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just hopefully. Do you know what I mean? He's on that training pitch, and he's like, trying to put himself in those kind of certain positions and or situations, and start, finishing. Get Ian right down there, man, on the training pitch.
Yeah, he should already be on double figures this season, man.
Yeah. But the thing is that you can't drop him because he's playing fantastically well.
Definitely. And then we move into the subs. Brenny, you get Tierney.
Just 6. Wasn't it? That's all I could say really.
I
You know
wouldn't.
what?
No, he's done a few bits on that left. But did you see when?
He did, yeah.
But did you see when the ball beat him with a header and we got away with it? And Gabriel, I think it was Gabriel or Ramsdale, went absolutely ballistic at him.
I missed that.
Yeah. I have to try and watch it back. But yeah, one of them went mad because he got caught square-footed and the ball went in behind him. Gabriel had to come across.
I'll tell you what.
And that's what you like to see, though.
Yeah,
that's what you like to see for your team, innit?
Yeah, of course. I'll tell you what, with today, because there weren't no lackluster poor performances, I would just say standard 7.
Yeah, no, I think he was good when he came on. Like, he got down that left well. He beat 2 or 3. He looks like he's got his pace back as well, which is important. So I think he looked like he lost it. There's a few times last season where he was trying to push it on players and couldn't burst past them. Whereas now he's got that burst of pace again. I wouldn't normally score Holding, but I'm going to score him because he actually had more touches than Aubameyang in the game. So and he was only on the pitch for like 5 minutes. So I'll give him a 6.
That's a dirty stat. It's such a dirty stat.
And he come on in the 92nd minute and have more touches than Abba.
Played 60 minutes, and you're telling me a man that come on for 2 minutes had more touches than him. I'm
gonna fact check it because I wouldn't be surprised if he actually did. I'm actually gonna fact check it later, and that might be my tweet for the day. But Holding fair play. Oh no, we didn't score El Nene. Daymos, you get El Nene.
Actually, I didn't see what he did because he came on he didn't have much time.
He pressed around a bit. He didn't do much.
Yeah, he was pressing around, to be honest. Yeah. I'll give him a 6 just because of the time. But if he was playing like that for a whole half, we'd probably get a 7. But yeah, I'll say a 6.
No, definitely right. Let's move on from the subs. Big up James. Sorry, let me get to James's comments because we haven't seen you for. I hope you're doing well, James. Man, we miss you.
James,
very much.
James.
Yeah, boy. He said, "Are we? Let's answer this one before we get onto Arteta. Just one word. Are you excited as James is? James was very excited from pre-season. Counters, you were excited as James was?
Very.
Brenny?
Yeah, I'm excited, and I don't want the World Cup to come round, man. I just want the Premier League to continue. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Daymos, are you excited right now?
Definitely, man. Can't wait to the next game. Like Brendan, World Cup's just in the way, man. So yeah.
It's come at the wrong time. It's definitely come at the wrong time.
Jim, none of our players don't go World Cup, man.
Wait. Do you know what? One sec. You forgot. Not even Arteta. You forgot to score. You got to score the fans. We outsang them.
Yeah.
All game.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. You didn't even hear Chelsea at all.
My son said the same thing. He said it just sounds quiet in there from them. Like
it was all Arsenal fans.
You only heard Chelsea. You know what, Cannons? You only heard Chelsea once, man. All I heard was Chelsea.
Yeah. They kept trying with the. I heard them a couple of times with the Champions League one. You would never say that, but we just killed them though. We got a wicked chant because we talk about. There's a chant, obviously, a song we have where we talk about all the places where we won the league. Yeah, no other team can say that. We won at White Hart Lane, Stamford and Stamford Bridge. Twice. No one else can say that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to sing it. I'm not going to embarrass myself. But yeah, love it.
Let's get on to the main man, Arteta's.
Text.
Text. Daymos, what are we scoring text today?
Hey, I'm giving him a 10, man, because we mashed up Chelsea in their house, man, and a clean sheet as well. And it was we scraped it. Hey, in their house.
It's our house.
Our house now.
It's our house.
But it's our house now.
We busting that.
Cannons, what are you scoring, Arteta?
11.
Yes.
Listen, everybody raised their eyebrows when he brought Zinchenko in. I was like, ooh, okay. My man better come up with performance. But listen, the way the team played, and I beg you, and I think, I don't know if you did catch it, Daymos, but you just said that you saw the highlights of where Jesus just missed the header. What the quick play. And that, for me, is a testament to how everybody knows everybody's where they're supposed to be. There was hardly any stray passes, and that basically comes down. That's from the coach, man. Got them drilled.
100%. Just quickly, it's 2-1. Luke Shaw's pulled one back for United.
Yeah.
But we move on from then. Brenny, what we giving to Arteta?
He gets 10 a day. And he did something that has not happened this season. Top 6, first win away from home. Because when they have been top 6 playing each other this season, it's either been home wins or draws. We're the first team away, so that's a statement. That's a statement, big time.
Yeah, I hear that. James is touching what you touched on earlier. Saliba played the offside trap on Broja and still caught up with him.
Yeah.
Man in favour of 2-way authentication. He's double secure.
Man's had to wait for the text.
Man's got to wait for the email, guy. You're not just getting him with a password.
Man's had to. Okay, 7654.
Yeah. He's got the Barclays card reader and everything, boy. You trust me?
You ain't scoring.
Sleeve is different. Arteta, for me, I got to give him a 10. And one thing I will say, Daymos, I'm going to zoom in on you even though I'm talking. We're going to come into you because what you're wearing. Tottenham, Chelsea, Brentford, Fulham, Palace. London is red. London is red. Does everyone remember that, all right? Nowhere else to go in London. All of you will come. You've all got the treatment. I don't think we've even. How many have we conceded in that?
2? No, wait a minute.
Palace didn't score, did they? Did Palace score?
Fulham
Fulham scored.
Fulham.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're talking London derbies. Oh, sorry. I included Liverpool in.
Yeah, no. So we
I was
give
talking
that.
top 6.
London derbies.
No, we're talking London. How many teams?
Oh,
in London.
London. 3, isn't it? Tottenham and Fulham got.
Fulham.
No, it's 2. Fulham got 1.
Tottenham
got 1. Yeah, 2.
That ain't bad. Considering we conceded how much to Brentford last year, and we're looking good. Arteta's dominating London at the moment. London is ours. Gangs of London, whatever you want to call it. We're running things right now. So, guys, it's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed today's stream. Guys in the comments, thank you so much. Footmoss, long time no see. James, big up yourself as well. Silver Fox was here, amongst others. G Talks as well, big up yourself. Arsenal keep going. And like you all said, I don't want the World Cup to come. We've got 2 more games. Canners, I hope I've got your ticket still for Wednesday. Let me know how much I owe you. We've got Wolves.
Enjoy, man. Don't ask me again, man. I'm in a good mood, man. Just go there and enjoy.
That's why I don't understand. I'm putting you on camera with it, so you can't turn around and say, actually, Gums, I ain't got a ticket for you no more. I've put it out there. It's on camera. I've got receipts.
Now go there, man. Enjoy it. Listen, it's a special place to be right now.
Yeah, I'm buzzing.
Just a quick one. Just before we go. At the moment, right, I know we touched on Tierney being second choice. At the moment, he's third choice. But then what happens when Tavares comes back?
Do you know, I had this conversation on the way up to the game on Thursday, and I'll be honest, I would send him out on loan again next season. I wouldn't say, unless Marseille come with a big bid for him, we're talking 30 mil plus.
Yeah,
he'd have to go on loan again, and as long as Tierney's happy to stay, I'll go with Tierney and Zinchenko again next year.
I think we make Champions League next year, and there's 2 equally important games per week: Champions League and Prem. Tierney's got to be in one of those teams because right now, obviously, you know what I mean. So I did see Tierney at the end of this game when Arteta went up to him, and he wasn't all hugs and smiles.
Yeah, I saw that as well. I did see that.
But you know what?
Go on, Daymos.
You shouldn't be happy.
I was just looking at the game for Wednesday. Do you think we'll be going full strength? Because Brighton are tricky and they're going to have their full strength team for the cup.
First off, I don't think it'll be full strength, man. But I think we'll see. I think he will. I think we're in a better position than we thought we would have been in terms of fitness. Again, you don't want players to miss the World Cup, but he's got 1 more game after this. And his priority's got to be Arsenal.
Is it Wolves?
Why?
Yeah, Wolves Saturday.
Why? I wouldn't be resting. I wouldn't be resting. I'll be going. Yes, you might have the odd change. Tierney will come in for me. Apart from that, I would be playing majority of my strong team. Maybe El Nene come in for Partey, but apart from that, I wouldn't be changing too much.
Maybe for Shakhtar. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't be changing too much if I'm honest.
Brighton are favourites on Wednesday, to be honest.
But I think the position.
Brighton will go with a strong team.
Yeah, no, I think the position we're in, like, we've not say we're in a great position for top 4, aren't we? So for me, it's like actually if we can grab top 4, which is looking like a very likely thing to happen, we can grab a cup as well. What a season that would be! So yeah, I wouldn't be. I think fitness wise, we look good again after the Leeds game and Southampton game. I was like, these boys need a rest. Whatever they've done in training, they maybe have an extra day off or whatever. They look sharp again. So yeah, for me, I wouldn't be changing it. I'll be going out again to get that win against Brighton and lay the marker down. Do you know what I mean? So when you play them in the league, they're like, oh God, we got these lot again. Look what they've done to us in the Carling Cup, and that's what you want, isn't it? So
Villa 3-1 up.
Hey,
good evening, boy.
Good evening.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna jump off this stream. We're gonna have a little bit of a chill out. Got half an hour, 45 minutes relax, and then it's United agenda and chill time, isn't it? So
chill. It's popcorn. Anyone got any popcorn?
Yeah, I got mine. You know, I got mine always in the cupboard.
Get
boy.
your cup of Rosalie, I need a refill, boy.
Nah, man. I got frazzles, man. I got frazzles. I ain't got no popcorn.
And I tell you what, we got a couple of fans frazzled at the moment. They don't know what to make of us.
Then we got is it Liverpool, Tottenham later as well?
Yeah, it's a good weekend.
It was lovely.
It's a good weekend. It's a good weekend, and we got City stressed. I'll be honest. They're rattled. They know they're in. And again, they're probably thinking it's an unknown entity, isn't it? Well, how do you deal with these lot? Really?
They were lucky yesterday. Imagine if.
Yeah. Just before we go as well, just something as well that Can has mentioned earlier on with regards to Saliba, as if to say whoever he comes up against, it's like, is that all you got? Is that all you got? And something just popped in my head because I saw this a few months back. It was the best. It was a Chris Rock show, and I was watching it again on YouTube because I hadn't seen it in years. And it was this clip where I was thinking just now, this could be Saliba. There was a running of the cops, and this guy was basically saying about how he's come down to this protest to get beaten by cops, and then he's getting smacked by cops. So it's kind of like Saliba, as if to say, is that all we got? 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 You know what I mean? And that's what I'm thinking, because you can't put him down. You can't.
Listen. All I'm saying is that I'm just crossing my fingers, man, that he continues with his consistency. That level of consistency right now is high. Let him keep that. He's young. He's gonna make mistakes, and when it happens, you know what I mean. You just have to get behind him. Yeah. When he scored the goal. Actually, no, wait a minute. Did Fulham? Who did he get their own goal against?
Leicester.
But
he still had a.
Yeah, he had a great game. For some reason I thought it was against Fulham, but yeah, do you know what I mean? And
Leicester. It was Leicester.
And the whole stadium got behind him and rallied and everything. He's gonna make mistakes. He's 20. Was he 21? Come on, man. Listen, we don't want to put too much, but I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. And I'm actually. I don't even want him to go to the World Cup, but obviously more than deserves to go, and he actually more than deserves to be in that starting 11.
Yeah, exactly.
For the French national team. But I'm loving it, man. We probably got one of the top 3 or 4 centre backs in the world right now.
Just talking on the World Cup, like, who do you reckon who goes from this? I can't remember what teams are in there. That's starting 11.
I hope Martinelli don't go. I hope Jesus don't go.
If we go through it, who do you really take that goes and who plays most games? Because Ramsdale will go, but I don't think he'll play much. Or he probably won't play at all. Ben White, I think, will go and won't play
will
much.
Be there right to the end, and that's going to be a problem.
Saliba and Gabriel will be two that go.
Yeah, if France do well, Saliba will be there right to the end. Yeah. He's got to have a break, hasn't he?
Yeah, did Ukraine make it? Did they play Scotland?
Yes.
Yeah, so Zinchenko will go.
But I would say Zinchenko.
Ukraine didn't make it.
He needs some fitness.
Ukraine didn't make it. Ukraine did not make it. They lost to Wales.
And they were trying to get something overturned.
They beat Scotland, but then they lost their playoff to Wales.
So he's rested. Partey, Ghana. Did Ghana make it?
Yeah, but hopefully they get knocked out in their group stages.
Switzerland.
I'll be rooting for them to get knocked out. Everyone.
Obviously, Odegaard's not going.
Brazil will get through the knockout stages.
Yeah. So there's more out there than I thought. Actually, I'm thinking Jesus and Martinelli probably won't play a big part to begin with, but you never know.
Saliba is the one, and probably Saka.
Yeah.
Definitely.
the
After
problem.
that showing there, they can't be starting Sterling ahead of Saka at the moment. Like, if you're
Wow.
going on, well, this is Southgate, and I get
Saka's. Yeah.
Sterling's got a bit of money in the bank, but at the moment, Saka's unplayable. So
Southgate has his favourites, isn't he? So
I hope so, and he doesn't play Saka. I hope he starts him a sub. Love that.
yeah, it's not like Saka ain't got another 2 or 3 World Cups to go to after this one. He's young enough, innit? So yeah,
You know what I mean? But yeah,
Do you know what, guys? Real quick about the World Cup, as I'm thinking about it, I'm quite a positive person. I think there's more chance for there to be a negative effect after the World Cup than a positive, just because of the players going, whether they get tired, injured, do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. I mean, the flip side could be that they come back buzzing, but yeah, there's more chance for negative to happen, and that's what I'm worried about. It'll mess up our flow and our momentum potentially.
that's the big issue, is the flow, isn't it? But yeah, but again, they might go over there and just be buzzing to get back. Like, if it's not going too well,
let's hope.
do you know what I mean? They might be thinking, let's get me back to Arsenal. That's where I want to be. That's my home. And then we kick on again. But
100%.
we're top of the league again.
There's so much to talk about.
One more week, and we go into Christmas top of the league. And I never would have imagined it. Especially, again, let's be honest. If City had dropped off and we was there, but on like 28 points or something like that, I would say, cool, we'll take it. But we haven't been great this season. I think they said the record we got at the moment, there's only one team who had this record and haven't won the league, and that was Newcastle. Apart from that, with this start, the team goes on. And I'm not saying we're going to win it, but we're there on merit. Like, City are throwing everything at us. So we just
Champions League is our through league position is our target this year. And we're on the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Anything other than that is a bonus.
Yeah. And the Premier League table is looking good. We're how many points ahead of Chelsea are we now?
I forgot.
We're on 34. Chelsea's on 21, and but our stats are amazing. Played 13 games, won 11, drawn 1, lost 1, and we've scored 31 goals and only let in 11. So that is we need more goals, but the conceded goals is really good.
Yeah, and I think we are 18 points ahead of Liverpool ahead of today's game. Obviously, they've got a game.
Wait, let me check where Liverpool is. Wait, it's Wheel of Fortune. I've got to scroll down.
Actually,
there.
Do we want Liverpool to win that?
Yeah. Let Liverpool beat. Let Liverpool beat.
Hey, man.
Let Liverpool beat Tottenham.
16 points. Wow.
It's madness. It's madness.
Cup of tea, popcorn. That's my diet today, boy.
Yeah. Football is saying no team ever done this well and has not won the league title, so why not? I think only Newcastle, but again, I don't know after today's win. That might change now because we've put another win on the table. But I know before the game, also Newcastle had the same points and Newcastle didn't win league, and that was it. Apart from that, it's always ended in a trophy. And again, I think if it wasn't for Pep's Man City, it would be now Arsenal going to win the league, wouldn't it? But I think because it's Pep's Man City, if this was Mancini's Man City or Pellegrini's, we wouldn't be talking about maybe we're just a challenge. We would be well up for it. So yeah, we just got to keep taking one game at a time. Now let's go and beat Wolves next week. Let's finish this part of the season on a high and go into January. And again, what does this do for players looking at Arsenal to come in? If we're now talking to players, what is this doing for them, their mentality? They're probably thinking, that's where I want to go and play football.
Be a part of this process.
Yeah, definitely. But guys, on that note, we hit an hour. Let's get out of here. Daymos, Canners, Brett. All right, Canners, actually, welcome to the reaction team, because this little trio here at the moment is Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus. So cheers for jumping on. I know you're normally at the matches, so
I'll put a little bit of party kind of like stability to it. Balls left and right.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much, people, for tuning in. Thank you again. Please like, subscribe, comment if you're watching this back. Comment. You'll see me in the chat later as well. I'll be replying to some of you. There was a good couple of comments last time, and actually I want to reach out to some of you because we'd love to get some of you on the show as well. So guys, all good back. Watch alongs, we're here every week. G Talks, big up yourself as well. Thanks for joining the family.
Bobby, everyone, man. Everyone's putting in work in the Armoury, man. Bless up.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, guys, on that note, we out of here.
Take care.